This week is full of complications and includes a new ceramic watch by Zodiac. Stay tuned to the end to check it all out. Hello, and welcome to episode 58 of A Week in Watches, a weekly look back at news, stories, releases, and more from the world of watches. I'm your host this week, Zach Weiss, co-founder of Wound. Thanks for joining me. Do you like moonphases and chronographs? If so, this is going to be a good week for you. I know I'm pretty excited about it. Next week's episode will be from within Wind Up Watch Fair Chicago. Stay tuned for that, as there's always great stuff at the fairs. On my wrist this week is the Tudor Black Bay 54. If you haven't seen my review of this, please go check it out. Maybe we'll drop a link somewhere for that. This week's sponsor is the Wind Up Watch Shop. There have been some great additions in recent weeks, including the Citizen ProMaster Dive Echo Drive Unite with Blue, which has a recycled polycarbonate dial in a gorgeous shimmering blue. There's also the G-Shock MTG Aurora Oval, which has a rainbow ion-plated recrystallized steel bezel. It's pretty psychedelic. Check those both out and more at windupwatchshop.com. Before we get to the news, you know the drill. Please hit like and subscribe. We really do appreciate it. Garrick Regulates. I'm pretty sure I've talked about Garrick before on A Week in Watches, but as a quick refresher, they are a British brand that specializes in bespoke watches with fairly traditional styling, if through a modern lens. They are made in a fairly traditional fashion with a focus on producing locally and high quality finishing. They only produce 50 to 70 watches a year, and while not inexpensive, a solid value for what is received. This week, they announced a new model, the Regulator MK2, which is an update to an existing model. As the name clearly indicates, it's a regulator, meaning the minutes, hours, and seconds are on separate axes. I'm personally a huge fan of regulator layouts, partially for just being something different, but also because they emphasize the minute hand, making reading them at a glance, once you're used to the layout, extra easy. With that said, regulators typically feature a central minute with an hour subdial at 12 and a subsecond at 6. The Garrick is not typical. You will still find the minutes about the center of the dial, but with the hours displayed at 3 and the seconds at around 10. It's a bit awkward, so either you will find this annoyingly off balance or appealingly quirky. I'm in the latter camp. This layout also leaves space at 6 for a massive exposed dial side free-sprung balance, which is part of their in-house UTG02 caliber. This isn't a skeletonized watch where you are looking through the movement to the balance. Rather, it's a proper dial side balance like on a Breguet Tradition or an MB&F Legacy machine. I've had the luck of seeing their collab with Fears, which features this, and it was absolutely mesmerizing, particularly given the scale of the balance on the dial. The minutes index, hour, and second subdials are fixed elements, but the dial surface underneath can be customized to a wide variety of colors, with either an engine-turned guilloche texture or hammered finish for that bespoke touch. The Regulator MK2 features a 42mm case in 904L steel that is made in the UK and finished in-house. It has a starting price of around £10,000. Garrick will only be making 10 of these watches per year, with the first batch delivering in spring of 2024. Once again, Garrick's timepieces aren't inexpensive, but they are solid value given the level of finish and effort that goes into them, which is evidenced in the extremely small number of watches made per year. Habring 2 continues to complicate. Back in episode 16 of A Week in Watches, I gushed over the then new Chrono Felix Perpetual Calendar, a 38.5mm perpetual monopusher chronograph with a price tag of around $24K, which for that set of complications is a relatively great value and certainly a very attractive package. It also was a great example of why Habring 2 is one of those brands that nerds like yours truly are very excited about. A small operation based out of Austria, they specialize in complications, with chronographs and deadbeat seconds being of particular focus, and like Garrick, allow for a lot of customization. So you get the exact version of the watch you want, and it features bespoke movements, and they are produced in very small amounts annually, making their value, pretty exceptional. Well, Habring 2 announced a new model recently that adds a novel, if perhaps unnecessary, complication and military styling to their Chrono Felix line, so a sibling watch to that Perpetual. Called the Chrono Felix Top Second, it's a 38.5mm single register monopusher chronograph with a 30-minute counter at 3. So what's special about it? Well, in lieu of a typical seconds hand at 9, it features a top seconds indicator visible through an opening in the 9 numeral. Basically, under the dial is a little red propeller-shaped gizmo that rotates around every 5 seconds. Thus, the window in the 9 will turn red every 2.5 seconds. This essentially acts as a running light for the watch, letting you know it's at least wound enough to function. On a chronograph, this is particularly appealing as it eliminates a sub-dial for a cleaner appearance. In terms of design, the model they are showing features early 20th century military style with large Arabic numerals in white on a textured black surface that's all circled by a railroad index. Cathedral hands and faux radium lume complete the vintage styling. While not a unique look, when combined with a single register layout and 38.5mm case size, it comes together as a very appealing package. And since Habring 2 does offer a lot of customization, I imagine if you wanted one, you could likely pick out from a variety of options in terms of dials, hands, etc. Powering the Chrono Felix top second is the A11FC, a proprietary chronograph movement that is hand-finished and visible through the display caseback. It is based on the Valjoux 7750, but heavily reworked and made entirely by Habring 2 and their suppliers. The Chrono Felix top second is priced at around 8,000 euros. So is a top second mono pusher really something you need? Well, no. But as I said, Habring 2 is kind of a brand for nerds, and this is the kind of thing that gets at least me really excited. I don't know, what do you think? Oxen Und Junior goes back to the moon. This one is a bit of a quickie. Oxen Junior, a rare brand that mixes a completely modern and almost whimsical aesthetic with very impressive horology, has brought their iconic Moonphase to their more affordable Ochs line. So some context here. The Oxen Junior Moonphase is perhaps the brand's most well-known watch. It features a central Moonphase complication designed by brand founder and watchmaking genius Ludwig Oxelen. The Moonphase, which is a module, is accurate to over 3,000 years, yet is a module comprised of only 5 pieces and is powered by an ETA 2824. It also displays the date through their signature spiraling aperture windows. Until now, it has only been part of their made-to-order catalog, which allows for a wild amount of customization with a starting price of 8,000 Swiss francs. So the news is that the Moonphase is now available through the pre-designed Ochs line in a very attractive blue and silver colorway in both 42 and 39mm versions, both, thankfully, made out of titanium. And they have a price tag of 5,500 francs. So some savings, though not a ton. And though not customized, there is still a lead time of 12 to 16 weeks, and they will only produce 50 per year. If you've always wanted an Oxen Junior Moonphase but didn't want to spend on the full customized model, well, now's your chance. Did Zodiac make the ultimate summer diver? Last October, Zodiac revealed a ceramic version of their Super Seawolf diver. It featured a dark, almost gunmetal gray ceramic shell around a steel core. It was attractive and relatively well-priced foray into the semi-exotic but certainly uncommon material. Well, Zodiac is back with more ceramic divers, but this time in a refreshing and surprisingly appealing white ceramic, which is an even more uncommon version of an uncommon material typically found in the catalogs of brands like IWC, Hublot, Zenith, and Chanel. And also from Rado at a more approachable price point, but they are generally saved for feminine watches, whereas Zodiac took a unisex approach. As for the watches, well, they look like Super Seawolves. They measure slightly larger at 41mm, but otherwise they have the same general design layout, but with the case, crown, bezel, and bezel insert in crisp white ceramic, which, I don't know, really looks great. There are 3 options at launch based on iconic models from their collections and archives. First is the ZO9590, which has a dark blue sunray dial with light blue chapter ring and minute hand. Perhaps the most classic of the trio, the combo of blue and white just works very well. Next is the ZO9591, which is a take on their sherbet colorway, featuring a sunray silver surface with a contrasting orange chapter ring. It's somehow a natural pairing with the white case. Last is the ZO9592, which brings their signature watermelon pairing of a pale green dial with a peach chapter ring to the white ceramic format. All 3 watches are mounted to matching FKM Tropic-style rubber straps and feature STP 1-11 automatic movements that have been chronometer certified. They are also priced at $1,795, which seems, kind of fair considering how uncommon the material is plus it's a chronometer. So what do you think of these? Is a white ceramic tool diver something you could see wearing? You know, I'll be honest, I genuinely really like these, you know, more than I would have expected. The bright colored dials, which Zodiac is known for, is almost better suited to a white ceramic case than steel. You know, I'll be honest, I can't wait to see these in Chicago. The Super Seawolf White Ceramic Collection is available now at ZodiacWatches.com and through Zodiac retailers. Carbon watches, ceramic watches, silver watches. Are we entering a post-steel watch world? I don't know, what do you think? And that's it for week 58. Please give us a like and subscribe. We honestly do appreciate it. Head to windupwatchshop.com to get yourself something nice. And of course, visit morningwound.com daily for more watch news, reviews, podcast videos, and more. We'll see you next time.